Well, hello there, my friends. It's Leslie here, wanting to talk to you this week, my little calm December series, about how you can find moments of joy and making them small and making them calm as a way to support you in creating a festive season that works for you and not just for anyone else. I often find that we have expectations about December and the festive season and about how it should be full of joy. But often we can find ourselves in the role of joy maker, which means that it's all about other people's joy. Or we can find that actually the way that our lives are right now, we're not really fitting the expectations of what December should look like. Like maybe we don't have family around us, and maybe that's okay. Maybe we're going to do something different for December, and that's okay. So sometimes we can find ourselves feeling like joy is a long way away. And that can be for those reasons that you're looking after other people. And sometimes it's just because you're tired, because you're overwhelmed, and actually you're finding it hard to kind of really feel your own joy while simultaneously creating everyone else's. So what I thought I'd talk about today is about this idea of glimmers as a way to support us in feeling good in moments during the day. I want to talk about a positive reflection practice to do at the end of the day. And I want to talk about accepting a little bit more about where we are and who we are and how we really want to do the festive season. And hopefully all of those things can add up to a little tiny bit more calm. And I hope that works for you. So I thought I would talk about glimmers, this idea of accessing short moments of joy, like the fire crackling behind me, behind the camera. I don't know if you can hear that. It makes me feel warm and cozy. It's like a moment of joy that comes and goes as quickly as that little pop of wood. And so I'd love for you to think about this week as you go about your day, accessing glimmers, and they can be really, really small. They can be things that help you, that might feel, that give you a moment of connection, whether it's to somebody else, whether it's to nature, whether it's simply to that joyful moment around you, or it can be connection to yourself. Things that make you smile, things that you can, that kind of make your heart feel nice and warm. And I'd like to encourage you to find those small moments and just lean into them gently, because I know life is busy. So I've actually been, as part of my morning ritual, which is always, I like to start with me during the day, every day, with a little meditation, with a little journaling. And I've added a little bit of extra joy by lighting a candle first thing in the morning and turning on, I haven't got a Christmas tree up, but I've got Christmas lights around my bookshelf. So I turn on the Christmas lights and I light a candle, and then I sit and do my brief meditation and journaling exercise. Taking a moment to really enjoy it, enjoy the moment, that striking a match, enjoy seeing that flame come into life. Just taking the moment to be present, which is really important, and that's what joy can give us. It can take us back into the present moment. On my walk on Sunday, another example is that I really made it about finding joy in what I could see. I found a tiny little iris growing between the crack in a wall and a hedge, and I'm like, it's the wrong time of year for an iris, but it was so pretty. And then the old man's beard in the hedgerow, which is so lovely. And I found out it's also called traveller's joy. I'm not quite sure why, but how lovely was that? And because the sun was shining, it was shining through the kind of hairs, the white hairs on the plant, and it was just so pretty. And then I found a great big huge redwood in the woods to give it a bit of a hug and to look up through its branches. And they were just little moments of joy, of beauty, of noticing the beauty of nature, that meant that not only did I come back feeling like I'd had a lovely walk and I'd had some exercise, I felt really uplifted by it as well. As I've ferried my children around in the dark in the last couple of weeks, I've really lent into enjoying watching the Christmas lights emerge outside people's homes, in high streets, around the shops, and sometimes in unexpected places as well. Might have invested in a few more lights this year, feeling like twinkling is what I need to see a bit more of in the evenings as they get ever darker. And I've been trying to find the magic. So the to-do list seems to keep getting longer and longer and longer, but finding the magic helps it all feel so much more manageable. I wonder if you could give me some examples of what those glimmers might look like for you. I've even been leaning into, my kids are at a stage where they can argue as much, like their conversations often turn into arguments or one-upmanship. But when they do get on, when they do have a giggle together, when they do both start singing or randomly jumping around, I lean into that and savour it and enjoy it. And actually then that becomes bigger than the row that might have happened 5 minutes earlier. Joy is about connection, as I say, to many other things, and it doesn't have to be bouncy and loud. It can come in and out, and it can pass briefly. We can't necessarily hold on to it for very long, and so just noticing it can help. But what it does do is it lifts us up. There's actually like a little brain chemical reaction to those joyful moments that can really help us even on the darkest days. So I'm going to encourage you this week to keep seeking the glimmers, to keep, even if life is feeling a little bit overwhelming or a bit dark and gloomy. It's definitely dark and gloomy today. And allow yourself. So the second thing is to think about allowing yourself to be succeeding. Whatever this year has thrown at you, whatever has been going on this week, however many things are unticked on your to-do list at the end of the day, I'd love for you, this one of my favourite practices is, as I lie down, going off to sleep, is to think about all of the things that have gone well. What's gone well today? What did I succeed at? Rather than rehearse what I didn't do and what I might need to do tomorrow, all of which will still be there in the morning, but to think about what's gone well, what I've succeeded at. I don't necessarily manage to do this every night, but it is such a helpful practice to get yourself thinking about 3 things that have gone well, 5 things that have gone well, before you go off to bed, and your brain then gets wired just a little bit more to the positive. It's a really good thing to be doing in January. So your little calm December task for this week is to look for those glimmers of joy, to lean into them, and to think, as you go off to sleep at night, to think about the things that have gone well, to thank yourself for all of the things you've done as well. I feel a bit like it's a good time of year to write ourselves a ta-da list, which I think came from a friend of mine, rather than a to-do list. So at the end of the day, write down all of the things that you have done, and you'll be astonished, I'm sure, at how many there are. So I hope that you find that helpful. And that what's gone well question is one that I often ask, well, I always ask my clients every week to ask them what's gone well. And it means that even if whatever habit or practice they've been working on since our last call, whether they've succeeded in their eyes in that, there's always a learning, but it also means that they're thinking about what's gone well before they've even come into that first session, before they've even started a conversation. It's an opportunity for us to celebrate, because I think we all need that celebration just a little bit more, especially in the winter. So ask yourself what's gone well today, and if you feel like sharing it, do let me know. I hope you've enjoyed that. I'll be back next week talking about micro moments of self-care that you can blend in to the festive season, so you maintain your energy and feel less sluggish. I hope you enjoy.